The All Blacks are heading into their second match of the greatest rivalry tour with a significantly reshuffled side, and the biggest story is the appointment of Luke Jacobson as captain for the first time. Head coach Dave Rennie has named his 23-man squad to face the Sharks in Durban, making several changes from the team that took on the Stormers. The selection gives a number of players an important opportunity to prove themselves, while 2 players are set to experience the biggest moment of their careers with potential All Blacks debuts. At the center of the selection is Luke Jacobson, who will wear the number 7 jersey and lead New Zealand for the first time. The Chiefs captain has already earned a reputation as a respected leader at club level, and Rennie believes he is the right man to guide the All Blacks against the Sharks. Luke is the obvious choice to captain the team against the Sharks. He is highly respected, has a great feel for the game and will lead through his actions, Rennie said. For Jacobson, the opportunity represents a major milestone. Captaining the All Blacks is one of the highest honours in New Zealand rugby, and his appointment shows the trust that has been placed in him by the coaching staff and his teammates. The selection also demonstrates the approach Rennie is taking during the tour. Rather than relying on the same starting combination, the coach is using the match to test squad depth, develop new partnerships, and give more players experience against South African opposition. The All Blacks know exactly how challenging that environment can be. Their opening match against the Stormers provided an introduction to the physical intensity and tactical demands of South African rugby. Now they face the Sharks in Durban, another team capable of testing New Zealand through physical defense, set-piece pressure, kicking, and territorial control. Rennie has made it clear that the players learned from the opening match and are now ready for another challenge. The opening match gave the players a real introduction to the way that South African teams play, and the Sharks will be no different, he said. One of the most interesting changes comes at fly half, where Ruben Love will wear the number 10 jersey for the first time on tour. He will play alongside experienced midfielder Jordie Barrett, who brings 81 test caps to the side. The combination between Love and Barrett could be crucial. At number 10, Love will be responsible for helping control the All Blacks attack, managing territory, making decisions under pressure, and working with Preston at halfback. For Preston, the match represents another important step in his international career. The Crusaders halfback will make his first start in an All Blacks jersey after previously featuring against the Stormers in Cape Town. Starting a test match brings a different level of responsibility. Preston will need to control the tempo, communicate with the forwards, provide quick ball when opportunities appear, and make smart decisions when the Sharks apply pressure. In the midfield, Quinn Tupaea comes into the starting side alongside Jordie Barrett, following what appeared to be a shoulder issue for Billy Proctor. The pairing gives New Zealand a mixture of experience and physicality in the centre. Barrett is one of the most experienced players in the squad, while Tupaea already has 26 test caps and understands the demands of international rugby. The back three will feature Caleb Clarke, Fia Finianganofo, and Damian McKenzie. McKenzie, with 77 test caps, provides considerable experience at fullback. His ability to counter-attack, kick accurately, and make decisions under pressure could be extremely important against the Sharks. Clarke also brings significant international experience, while Finianganofo gets another valuable opportunity to develop at test level. The forward pack has been reshaped as well. Ethan de Groot, Asifo Ormua, and Fletcher Newell will form the starting front row. All three have substantial international experience and will face a major challenge against a Sharks pack that is expected to bring plenty of physicality. Behind them, Josh Lord and Sam Diari will operate in the second row. One of the more unusual aspects of the selection is the decision to start Tupou at number 6. With Lord and Diari covering the second row, New Zealand will begin the match with 3 locks on the field. That gives the All Blacks plenty of height and physical presence, particularly at line-out time, but it also places significant demands on their mobility and work rate. At number 8, Wallace Sititi returns to the starting lineup after missing the opening clash because of a mild illness. His return is an important boost for New Zealand. Sititi has already established himself as a powerful and dynamic loose forward, and his ability to carry the ball and contribute around the field could be valuable against the Sharks. The back row of Vai, Jacobson, and Sititi gives the All Blacks a combination of size, mobility, defensive work rate, and ball-carrying ability. But the biggest story remains the captaincy. For Jacobson, this match represents an opportunity to demonstrate that the leadership qualities he has shown with the Chiefs can translate to the international stage. Captaining the All Blacks is about much more than making speeches. The captain must communicate with the referee, organize teammates, remain calm under pressure, and help the team maintain its focus when the opposition gains momentum. That is why Rennie believes Jacobson is the right choice. He is highly respected, has a great feel for the game and will lead through his actions, the coach said. That final phrase could be particularly important. Jacobson does not need to become someone else simply because he has been named captain. His leadership style can remain based on his work rate, decision-making, and ability to set the standard for those around him. The match also carries enormous significance for two players waiting on the bench. Semisi Tupou and Bradley Slater are both in line to make their All Blacks debuts. For Tupou, the selection rewards his work with Moana Pacifica and gives him the chance to experience international rugby against one of the strongest rugby nations in the world. For Slater, the opportunity comes after his performances with the Blues. Both players know that an All Blacks debut is a special moment. It represents years of work, sacrifice, and determination. Rennie acknowledged the importance of the occasion. Two more players will pull on the All Blacks jersey for the first time against the Sharks, he said, congratulating both players and recognizing how proud their families and friends will be. Their introduction could become one of the emotional highlights of the match. But they will not be the only players looking to make an impact from the bench. Ollie Norris, Pasilio Tosi, Ethan Blackadder, Cam Roigard, Timosi Tavatavanawai, and Emini Narawa all provide Rennie with different options for the second half. Roigard can bring speed and tempo at halfback, while Blackadder can add energy and defensive intensity. Tosi provides additional forward power, and the arrival of Tavatavanawai or Narawa could give New Zealand fresh attacking options when the Sharks' defensive line begins to tire. That bench could become extremely important. South African matches are often decided in the final stages when fatigue starts to create space. Fresh players can change the momentum of a game, and Rennie will need to make the right decisions at the right time. The All Blacks will also need to manage the tactical battle carefully. The Sharks are expected to test New Zealand with their physical approach, territorial kicking, defensive pressure, and set-piece strength. For the All Blacks, discipline will be critical. Giving away unnecessary penalties could allow the Sharks to gain territory or points, while poor kicking could put New Zealand under pressure. The partnership between Preston and Love will therefore be closely watched. The two young players will need to communicate constantly and understand when to attack, when to kick, and when to allow the forwards to carry. Behind them, Barrett and McKenzie can provide valuable experience. This balance between youth and experience is one of the most interesting aspects of the selection. Rennie is clearly interested in developing his squad without sacrificing leadership. The starting side contains players with enormous international experience, while several younger players are being given opportunities. That approach can be important during a long international season. Injuries and fatigue are unavoidable in rugby, so a team needs more than 15 trusted players. It needs depth across every position. By giving players such as Preston, Love, Finianganofo, Tupou, and Slater opportunities in a demanding environment, Rennie can learn who is ready for the biggest challenges. The Sharks match therefore becomes more than a single result. It becomes another test of the All Blacks' depth. Another test of their combinations. Another test of their discipline. And another opportunity for the players to understand what it takes to perform in South Africa. The short turnaround between matches makes preparation even more important. Rennie explained that the squad has had a major preparation day after the opening game, with many players about to experience their first match of the tour. That excitement can be positive, but the players must also remain focused. Tour rugby is demanding. Players have to recover quickly, study the opposition, prepare tactically, and then perform physically. There is little room for mistakes. The All Blacks will need to start well. If they can secure clean possession, control territory, and defend with discipline, they can put the Sharks under pressure. If they allow the home side to dominate the opening stages, the match could become much more difficult. That is where Jacobson's leadership could prove important. The new captain will be expected to help keep the team calm and connected. If the Sharks gain momentum, he must help the All Blacks respond. If New Zealand builds a lead, he must make sure the players remain disciplined. And if the match is close in the final minutes, his ability to make smart decisions could become crucial. This is the kind of experience that can shape a player's leadership career. For Jacobson, the Sharks match could become one of the most memorable games of his career. For the All Blacks, it is another step in the development of the squad under Dave Rennie. The selection shows that the coach is willing to make changes, reward form, test new combinations, and give emerging players a chance. But ultimately, the players must turn those opportunities into performance. Preston must control the game. Love must make good decisions. Barrett must provide leadership in the midfield. Tupaea must bring physicality. Mackenzie must control the backfield. Sititi must make an impact. The forwards must win their battles. And Jacobson must lead. The two debutants will then wait for their moment. If Semisi, Tupou and Bradley Slater step onto the field, they will become the latest players to begin their All Blacks journeys. For supporters, those moments are always special. Every debut tells a story. But this match tells several stories at once. It is the story of Luke Jacobson becoming an All Blacks captain. It is the story of Ruben Love taking control of the number 10 jersey. It is the story of Preston making his first start. It is the return of Wallace Sititi. It is the opportunity for Quinn Tupaea and Fia Finianganofo. And it is potentially the beginning of international careers for Semisi, Tupou and Bradley Slater. Most importantly, it is another opportunity for the All Blacks to develop their identity under Dave Rennie. The Sharks will provide the challenge. New Zealand will have to provide the response. The pressure will be intense, the physical contest will be demanding, and the margins could be small. But that is exactly why this match matters. For Luke Jacobson, it is a chance to lead his country. For the new players, it is a chance to make their mark. And for the All Blacks, it is a chance to show that the reshuffled squad can remain competitive, disciplined, and united against a difficult South African opponent. When the whistle blows in Durban, all the selection discussions will disappear. There will be only rugby. The All Blacks will have to trust their preparation, trust each other, and trust their captain. And at the center of that challenge will be Luke Jacobson, wearing the number 7 jersey and leading New Zealand for the first time. It is a huge moment for the Chiefs captain. It is a huge opportunity for the All Blacks. And it could be another important chapter in the development of the team under Dave Rennie.